Hey everyone, it's Mike from Rogala Photography here. Today I just want to do a quick video on one of the new features in Lightroom Classic. It's the April 2025 update. Adobe did is actually definitely very cool. Definitely going to help out all of us landscape photographers. And what they did was that they added landscape masks. So if you're familiar with the people mask, if you look over here, we'll go over here to the mask, and then we can click on, they have the people here where you can pick people in there. And then when you clicked on that, you had the different parts of the people, the skin, the clothing, etc. Well, they did something very similar with landscape. Okay, so here I have a landscape. It's a raw file, no edits whatsoever. So I'm just going to click on landscape here and it's going to do its thing. And now for this particular photo, it found 4 different areas. Okay, now each photo is going to might be a little bit different. There are all different areas. There's the architecture, there's the vegetation, water, sky. Let me see what else was there again. I can't remember. Oh, a natural ground, artificial ground. I think that was it. Okay, I think that was all of it. And now the sky one we've always had. We've had that for such a long time. I mean, and you know, it comes in handy quite a bit. But now, like I said, they added architecture, which you can see the houses as well as the bridge over there all got the overlay on it. Vegetation, all the trees and the grass, etc. Now you do see over here on the right that under the reflection, it kind of missed a little bit. So you're probably going to have to go in and refine it. But masks are never really perfect anyway. But compared to the way it used to be back in the old days where you had to do everything manually, it's definitely so much easier to do these masks. And then, of course, there is the water mask in this particular one. So now what you can do is you can do one at a time if you want. But if you click them all, you get this choice down here. And it'll say create 4 separate masks. So it's going to create all of them all at once for you. And then you can go in and make your edits. So let's do that. We'll create all 4 masks. And we got the sky. So let's just, go on that one. That one's, the easiest one to do. Maybe we will increase our whites a little bit. I'm going to bring the highlights up a little bit more. Bring the darks down. Oh, a little bit more contrast. Color. And a little bit more blue in there, I think. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy in the sky. We've all used the sky mask. We would bring down the shadows. Bring the whites up again, just a little bit more. All right. So there's your sky mask. Okay, we've already done this one before. Now, over here, we have architecture. So we click on the architecture. We have the houses and the bridge. Now, if you want, you could duplicate this mask and then make one for the bridge, and delete the houses. And then you can have the other one where you delete the bridge and, keep the houses. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to kind of just do them both here. So I'm going to maybe increase my exposure a little bit, bring up the shadows, bring up the whites just a little bit. Let me see under effects. I'm going to do some texture and some clarity just to make them pop. And then maybe, let's see, a little bit of color here. Maybe a little warm, not a lot though, just a little bit. We're going to lighten the blacks up a little bit. Bring those whites up. Okay, there's your architecture. Okay, and again, it's only affecting those areas right there. It even had this little stump over here from this little dock that's sticking out right there. So anything that looks like architecture, okay, man-made. The next one, this one is actually really going to come in handy. This is your vegetation. Same thing. Here's all your vegetation. Now what I want to do is I want to add this part of it, and then down in here, all of this stuff as well. This is all part of the reflection. So what I want to do is I'm going to click add, and I'm going to use my brush. bring the size down. All right. And I'm going to add that little bit right there. I'm going to bring this brush down a little bit more. And then I'm going to add down in here a little bit. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but, you know, if you do some changes to the actual vegetation, it would also affect the reflections as well. So let me see, come on over here. And again, I'm just going real quick here. I would probably zoom in and take my time to kind of do all of this right here. Right there. Boom, boom, boom. And again, I'm not going to go completely perfect here, but etc. Okay. And then we'll do a little bit over here. And then obviously, whoop, what happened there? My brush got bigger. And then right over here, we're going to do this one too. All right. Just to kind of for the sake of, okay, get that done. All right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to maybe increase my exposure up a little bit. Bring my shadows up. There we go. That looks better. My whites. All right. Maybe bring the blacks up. Oh, not too much. I want to keep some of that there. The color, we're going to come back to that in a minute. Let me see. The effects, I want to do some texture and maybe some clarity just to kind of make them pop a little bit. All right, maybe bring the shadows up just a tiny bit more. There we go. That's good. But okay, now that's all well said and done. Okay, because you know you got your green vegetation, but let's just say you want to turn this into a fall photo. Well, for starters, you can come over here and you can add some of your warmth, and then you can add some tint. Maybe decrease the saturation or now you can see here. Here's where we would have to do some fixing right here. There's a little bit of banding. Now, that's one thing about the sky mask. Whenever there's vegetation, sometimes there is some banding on there. So what I would do is I would zoom in a little bit, and then I think I would let's go add, and then we're going to do brush. Keep that like that, and then oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to subtract it. So I'm going to subtract brush. Okay, now that's what there we go. That's what we want to do. And we can refine the mask again. And again, I'm not going to go through it all, but you can kind of see, you know, what you would have to do. And again, you would zoom in, take your time to kind of fix it the right way. All right. But you know what? It doesn't look like a fall photo. So what I want to do here is I'm going to come into point color. I'm going to use my eyedropper tool, and then I'm going to come over here for the green. I'm going to turn that. Oh, let's see. Oh, here we go. That looks pretty good like that. All right. And then maybe saturate it up a little bit more. And again, it's not going to be perfect, but you know, this particular photo probably would, it's got a lot of green in it. But you can see I had to add down in here because the reflections, it turned it all there. Now we can come on over here. We can pick another color. Oh, what happened here? There we go. So let's just pick a darker green over here. And oh, we're going to switch that over a little bit. Maybe, let's see, right there. There we go. And we're going to maybe make it a little bit brighter. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go brighter right there. You could change the range if you want to a little bit here if you want. Now, both of these colors actually look almost the same. So again, this is probably not the best photo for this, but you know, there's your vegetation. You can just completely change. You know, if you go, here's before the photo, how the green, it was a bluish green. Now you made it more fall looking. Okay. And again, you would take your time, you know, and a whole thing like that. Okay. But now the last one here is water. All right. And again, this one, we will come on up here. Let's open up my tone right there. We're going to maybe bring that up just a little bit. We're going to bring the shadows up. Whites, let's bring them up just a little bit because that is reflecting the sky. Blacks, we want to bring that down just a little bit, not a lot. Color, let's see what the color, what can we want to do? We want to add more. No, we want to subtract it a little bit, actually. Okay. And then if you wanted to, you could even, add some blue, a little more blue for that, for the sky, because again, it's reflecting in, etc. Let me see, whites. Let me increase the whites just a little bit more here. And there you go. Those are the 4 here. Now, if we come over to this photo over here and we have masks, we'll click on landscape. It's doing its thing. And here we have sky, architecture, vegetation, water, and now it added natural ground. It's the stone over here. So again, add all these in here. And now if you don't want them all, you don't have to add them all. Let's just say I just wanted to add natural ground. I would just click on natural ground. But here it's going to do 5 separate masks. Boom. Here we go. We'll come down to natural ground first because that's the one we did. And I mean, for the most part, it's fine. But we maybe make it a little bit brighter. Get the shadows up a little bit. Maybe warm it up. Give it some tone. And then come on over down here into the texture. Add some texture to that, etc. And then now let's come back up to the sky. And again, I would have to go in here and fix this a little bit because it did overlap on the building. But I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on that. Maybe bring the highlights down. Bring some blacks down here. Let's see. One little trick I like to do here with skies. Bring the clarity up to kind of increase the contrast, but bring the texture down to smooth it all back out so the clouds are still kind of wispy and fluffy. And then now we'll come over to architecture. We got the building, and see it added the sidewalk onto architecture, and it's got all these buildings back here. So let's increase the exposure a little bit. Let's increase the shadows, the whites. Maybe, we're going to actually go up with the blacks. Okay. And then bring some texture, a little bit of clarity. And if you want to, you can actually add some sharpness to it, kind of make it pop. I want to add a little bit more whites to make that pop a little bit. And then the shadows a little bit more too. Now come down to vegetation. Here's your trees. Probably not going to do too much. And again, you got to watch out with the sky because it probably, kind of overlapped a little bit. You're going to get a little bit of banding in there. Let me see. Water. Here's your water. Let me increase the shadows. Maybe decrease the highlights just a little bit. Light. Or the highlights, whatever. Or the whites. Texture, let's bring that down a little bit, make it a little more softer and a little smoother. Okay. And then, let me see. What else do we have here? Natural ground. Where is the natural ground? Oh, I think I did that one. Yeah, I just did that one already. Okay. That's right. Duh, that was the first one. But again, you kind of go back and you kind of tweak it a little bit. Maybe make that a little bit brighter. Let me see. And then I can come out of the masks, come into my basics. See, I didn't even do any basics yet. So now I'll maybe increase my vibrance, my texture a little bit, my clarity a little bit. Let's increase the whites. Oh, I don't know. Let's do some shadows. Oops. There we go. Oh, yeah, it actually looks really good like that. Happy accidents. Bob Ross. So again, just like that. Now we come back over here to the one I showed you earlier with the people. Click on the masks. And like I said, we got the people here. Okay, and if we want to, we can go in and click on those. But we'll go over to landscape. Let it do its thing. This one only has 3. Sky, water, and artificial ground, which is the pier. So let's click them all. create masks. Okay, so we are on the artificial ground first. We're going to bring that down a little bit. Oh, let me see, bring the blacks down a little bit. Yeah, maybe increase the saturation to show the warmth. Maybe bring the whites up a little bit. And then we want to definitely give it some texture. Make it pop a little bit. And then come on up to the water. Let me see here. I probably want to darken that a little bit. Oops, that's too much. And then I want to add some blue. And then a little bit of green, because the Lake Ontario, we get that green aqua look here. Let me see. Right about there. And actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to increase the whites so it's not as intense. There we go. And then the last one is the sky. We're going to bring the exposure down. See, there's really not much texture in there. Bring that. Whites up. This one, I probably would actually try some dehaze. See if we can, there we go. See if we can bring some texture back into that. Like that. And then if I wanted to, I can come on over to the mask again. Add mask. And then let's go to, where's the people? Select people. We'll do that one. We got the entire person. Create mask. Brighten them up a little bit. Add people. Do the other guy. Entire person. And again, you can, these guys are far away, so I'm not going to really go into a lot of detail with them. But if they were closer up, like in portraits or something like that, maybe I would do individual. But, there you go. So mostly all done with masks. So there's your before and there's your after. Let me show you this other one here real quick. Before, after. Before, after. And then again, you'd have to refine the mask, but you know what? You always did have to refine the masks. Here's a before and then after. So there you go. Lightroom Classic update April 2025 landscape masks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please click like and subscribe. And until next time, take care, everyone.